In junior high school, Captain Pete Tzomes set his sights on a career in the United States Navy. And today, some 25 years later, he is in charge of operations of the U.S. submarine fleet in the Pacific, stationed right here in Pearl Harbor.
I'm the Force Operations Officer for Submarine Forces Pacific here in Pearl Harbor. I'm responsible for now the operations of every submarine in the Pacific when it goes to sea, which is a fun job.
Please come aboard. Hi, David. How you doing? I came down to talk to you about this exercise that you're going to go to sea next week, participating with the Enterprise. You got a few minutes?
Yeah, come on. Let's go down below.
Good.
When Captain Tzomes was in the 8th grade, a midshipman spoke to his junior high school assembly and presented a film on the Naval Academy. Pete Tzomes was convinced.
I went to our junior high school counselor and said, I want to go to the Naval Academy. And I'll never forget him, his name, I won't mention his name. And he said, Pete, you can't do that. He said, Negroes don't go to the Naval Academy. And I said, it didn't say that in the movie, and he didn't say that when he was here. And he said, well, you know, why don't you set your goals on something that's reasonable? And, you know, like, you know, you already want to be a school teacher. Why don't you just try to go to a state teacher's college and go be a school teacher? And I said, no, I want to learn about the Naval Academy.
After taking his congressman's written exam twice and becoming an alternate for admission, he was accepted.
There were 11 blacks. That was I entered the Naval Academy in the summer of 1963. And 11 blacks and about 2,500 midshipmen. I wanted to be a Marine. I mean, doesn't any kid, when he sees Marines on TV and in movies, doesn't he want to be a Marine? You know, Marine Corps builds men. I wanted to be a Marine. And so for 3.5 years, my professional desires were to be a Marine pilot. I took my flight physical, and I'm short, and I was below the minimum height to be a pilot. I'll never forget, they said, Midshipman Tzomes, we think you'll make a welcome addition to the Marine Corps Infantry. And I'm not a coward, but at the same time, I like to have something on my advantage if I have to enter a fight. So I applied for the Navy's nuclear power program, and I got accepted, and here I am. It's probably the only time in my life I've been glad I was short.
In 1969, Captain Tzomes was assigned to the USS Will Rogers. He was one of only a few black officers in submarines.
I've had enlisted people call me a nigger. One was my second submarine, and I'd been on board 2 days. Now, I know you haven't seen a submarine, but it's relatively small. But anyway, I was walking through the crew's mess, and there was a group of men sitting at a table, enlisted men, and I walked through, and somebody said something about Rastus. And I left the crew's mess, and I thought, and about 5 seconds later, I came back. This is my new submarine, second day on board. I said, I don't know who said that, but I know I can find out. And let me tell you right now, I am not going to accept any kind of talk, either in front of my face or behind my back like that. And if I ever find out who said it, or what group of you said it, I guarantee you I will be on this submarine longer than you will. And if you don't believe me, test me. Then I left, and didn't have any more problems.
Concerned about increasing the number of black officers in the Navy and making young black people aware of opportunities for education and careers in the service, Captain Tzomes serves as president of the National Association of Naval Officers in Hawaii. The organization maintains a presence in the black community and serves as a support system to black naval officers.
250 people in attendance, about 230 were black. And I was impressed. I had not been to a national conference in about 7 years. And I was impressed with the professionalism of the junior black officers. And I mean the Navy lieutenants, the Marine Corps captains, the Coast Guard lieutenants, the Lieutenant JGs, first lieutenants and second lieutenants. And they were the bulk of the attendees. There were very few officers 04 and above in attendance. And those people asked intelligent questions. They were very professional, and they didn't walk around with a chip on their shoulder. The black officer composition of the Navy right now is about 3.5% of all officers is black. That's low. That's too low. 0.74%. 0.74 in submarines.
Captain Tom's success has proven that black officers can progress in the U.S. Navy. In May of 1983, he became the first black officer to command a nuclear submarine when he reported for duty as commander of the USS Houston, a fast attack submarine capable of firing both torpedoes and missiles.
I was elated, I guess, if you want to describe it in one word. I just can't describe it. Felt so good, never felt anything, never had that kind of feeling before because, I mean, that's the reason I'd stayed in the Navy. And that was really, once I came in and got through my first submarine, I said, I want to command a submarine. And I said, well, God, if I command a submarine, I'll probably be the first black to command one. So that's what I want to do. And so it finally happened.
Commanding a nuclear submarine is one of the most demanding jobs in the Navy.
I was responsible for the proper employment of the submarine whenever we went to sea. I was responsible for the submarine doing whatever operational assignment it was tasked to do. I was responsible for the training of the crew, both officer and enlisted. I was responsible for their welfare, their morale, and their safety.
To Captain Tzomes, commanding the submarine was not the hardest part.
The hardest part? Leaving. Leaving. There's a saying, and it's true. Your worst day in command is better than any day you'll ever have after command. And I've been out of command now a little over a year, and I feel that way. I miss it.
Today, Captain Pete Tzomes is a vital part of our nation's defense, serving as operations officer, U.S. Pacific Submarine Fleet.
Permission come aboard.
He enjoys life at Pearl Harbor and looks forward to a future in the Navy.
I will probably stay in the Navy until they throw me out because I get paid for having fun. As long as I'm having fun, this is one of the few jobs and careers that I can honestly say that I get paid for having fun.